Welcome. My name is Attorney Jim Mangraviti. I'm one of the principals here at Seek Inc., and it is my pleasure to be discussing with you available jobs for physicians in non clinical pursuits and where to find them. Before I start off, I guess we should talk a little bit about myself. I'm an attorney, I'm not a doctor, but for the last 24 years, I have not been practicing law. I stopped practicing law in 1996, 3 years after I got out of law school. When I was growing up especially starting in high school, I kind of always wanted to be a lawyer. In my high school yearbook, it says I wanted to be a lawyer. All through undergraduate, it didn't change my mind. I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to be a litigator. This would be fun. I could do this stuff. Went to 3 years of law school, got out, eventually found a couple of jobs doing what I thought I wanted to do. And although that there were many things about those jobs that I liked, examining the witnesses, thinking about the cases, kind of the camaraderie or whatnot, there was also a ton of things that I really didn't like, in terms of not having control of your schedule, in terms of some of the people that you had to deal with, in terms of not getting, um, in terms of the stress that was involved and whatnot, in terms of the hours that you had to do. And as I was doing the job, I realized that I wasn't happy. And eventually, I decided to make a switch into what I'm doing now, which is teaching, writing, and helping to run a small business. And um, for me, I got to tell you, it's worked out absolutely fantastic. It's something that I love doing. Um, and, so I want you to understand that although I'm not a physician, I do understand what you're going through if you may be looking for options in what you're doing now. And I can tell you that I'm living proof of a non clinical career, non traditional legal career that I love. It's intellectually stimulating what I do. It's fun. It's interesting. The lifestyle is great. It's not anywhere near as stressful. And if you those are some of the things that you're looking for, I think you're going to be very pleasantly surprised in terms of what's out there in the non-clinical environment. So that's just a little bit, probably too much about me. Let's talk about this first section that we're going to do: available jobs and where to find them, and basically how we came up with this course, how to find and land high-paying non-clinical jobs. So for many years, Seek has been running an in-person big conference called Non-Clinical Careers for Physicians, and there's many things that go on at this conference. Okay, we have a job fair. So recruiters will come down from various industries and interview and actually hire doctors, which is a nice thing. We have mentoring. I think the last year when we did the conference, we had 40 to 50 doctors in non-clinical careers that our attendees could meet with one on one. And mentoring is a huge thing. I know I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Dr. McLaughlin's going to talk about that, and that can be unbelievably helpful. There's tremendous networking going on at the conference, but at its core, what the conference is it really a career day on steroids for doctors interested in doing something non-clinical. What do I mean by that? Well, there's a bunch of careers that doctors tend to get into, fields that doctors tend to get into non-clinically, and some of them are pretty obvious: industry, pharma, device companies, insurance, life insurance, health insurance, disability insurance, okay, administration, and the list goes on and on and on. And there's so many careers actually that when we bring in a doctor from each of these careers, somebody that's done this successfully, and we have the person talk just like you would have a career day in high school or in junior high school. This is what I do. This is what the days are like. This is how you get into this. These are kind of the good points of it, the bad things. This is how much money you can make, etc., etc. And because there's so many different careers, we can't in a 2 day conference we can't have every career covered by itself. We have to do breakout sessions. So the doctors, and there's, so some guy could be talking about pharma here and somebody could be talking about life insurance right next to him. And as a doctor attending, you'd have to choose. So I would start off this pre-conference and giving people a 30,000 foot overview of what these jobs are so they can pick which breakout sessions at the conference they would choose from, which careers they think on a very basic level might be something you want to explore more. Now, I know some people taking this pre-conference will not be going to our conference. I think many others will be. But either way, I want to do the same thing here. I want to give you some basic information. I've never worked in any of these jobs, but I've set up the conference for many years and I've listened to all the talks, so I know a fair amount about it. I want to give you enough information to try to, narrow down your list a little bit. You got your differential diagnosis of all kinds of different careers you can do. Let's see what things we can knock off, maybe rule out, rule in. So let's get started.